Tag TV US Canada brings you news and views from White House and State Department.
There's nowhere I'd rather celebrate this Thanksgiving than right here with the toughest, strongest, best and bravest warriors on the face of the earth. This evening, as millions of families sit down at their dinner tables back home, they'll be saying a prayer for the men and women serving our nation. Each of you came to do your duty. You came to defend American liberty. You came because our nation needed you, and they needed you right here. The men and women of our military are totally loyal to our country, and every day I am president, America will always be totally loyal to you. Our citizens know that you're standing guard, killing terrorists, crushing our enemies, and keeping America safe. And I'm here today to just really say happy Thanksgiving, but also thank you very much. Great job. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. Well, thank you very much. It's great to be in Afghanistan with our troops, and we had a wonderful Thanksgiving lunch. It was abbreviated a little bit, but we served lunch and had lunch. And these are great people, and it's also wonderful to be with the President of Afghanistan and President Ghani. Thank you very much. It's an honor. We have a lot of things to talk about, many, many things. We've had tremendous success in the last few months with our military, as you know. ISIS has been very, very badly hit, very severely hit. We had al-Baghdadi down in a different part of the world. We took him out. It was the father of ISIS, the founder, and he was trying to rebuild it, and that didn't work out too well for him. But we had tremendous success with ISIS over the last 3 to 4 months, and we're down to a very small number. And likewise with Al-Qaeda, we're down to a very small number. And the Taliban wants to make a deal. We'll see if they make a deal. If they do, they do. And if they don't, they don't. That's fine. But we've had tremendous success. And I think what I'd like to do, perhaps, General, if you could say just a couple of words before President Ghani, tell him about how we've literally decimated ISIS in Afghanistan, also Al-Qaeda in Afghanistan, if you would.
Sure, absolutely, Mr. President. And President Ghani, good to see you again. And we had a great meeting earlier today. And as you know, Scott Miller and the troops here, and Afghan troops and international troops have all put a significant amount of pressure on ISIS, particularly in Nangarhar. And they've been hurt bad. Their numbers have been attrited and dwindled significantly. Organizationally, they have not been destroyed, but they have been severely hurt. And that pressure will continue. And as the President mentioned, there's ongoing talks with the Taliban, and hopefully those will be successful. And hopefully that'll lead to Afghan dialogue in the not too distant future. So I think there's been some significant progress, Mr. President. And I think Scott Miller and the ambassador and the entire team of U.S. forces here, in combination with the Afghan National Security Forces, has done a great job. So thanks for your continued support.
Thank you very much, General. And Scotty, do you want to just mention how much, what we're left with? You're down to very small numbers with ISIS, and also you're down to very, very small with Al-Qaeda. Do you want to mention that?
Mr. President, with the Afghan forces, particularly over the last 30 days, although it's been a long fight, we've seen quite a few surrenders by Daesh ISIS fighters, as well as their families coming out of southern Nangarhar, which, as everybody knows, that's been a tough set of terrain for the United States of America and Afghanistan. Since 2001 was a safe haven for bin Laden in the early days, and been a pretty remarkable military operation, as well as the following operations with the Afghans.
Equally with Al-Qaeda South Asia.
Yeah, we've made that tremendous progress, though, over the last, I would say, 6 months. We've really, with respect to ISIS and Al-Qaeda, and we've hit them very, very hard. And they're down to literally hundreds as opposed to thousands. They had many thousands a short while ago, and now they're down to hundreds, probably 200 left, and we're scouting them out. So we'll be down to very little, if anything, in a very short period of time. Great job, by the way. Great job. Yes, appreciate it, Scotty. Mr. President, please.
Well, Mr. President, it's a great honor and pleasure to welcome. Let me first pay tribute to the American who paid the ultimate sacrifice. From 2001, 2,298 Americans might be one or two difference, paid the ultimate sacrifice. We salute their courage and their determination for your security and our freedom. Since you've been president, the number has been 52. So it's been a tremendous change. Afghan security forces are taking the lead now in most of operations. I'd like to pay tribute to General Miller and to Ambassador Bass for a remarkable partnership. We've been problem solving, and our security forces, our team is here, it's gone from strength to strength. I'd like to thank you for your leadership, for your determination both on the South Asia strategy that made this possible, and on your very principled decisions regarding putting limits on the type of peace that would ensure the gains of the past years and ensure your security and our freedom.
Right. Well, as you know, for a period of time, we've been wanting to make a deal, and so have the Taliban, and we pulled back. We were getting close, and we pulled back. We didn't want to do it because of what they did. It was not a good thing they did with killing a soldier. I don't know if they knew he was a soldier, but he was a soldier, an American soldier from Puerto Rico. And they killed him. They killed a United Nations soldier, and they also killed a total of 12 people. They thought that was good negotiating power. I said, no, that's bad negotiating power. That was not good what they did. And since then, we've hit them so hard. They've never been hit this hard. In the history of the war, they have never been hit this hard. And they want to make a deal. So we'll see what happens. If they make it, fine. If they don't make it, that's fine. We're going to be able to do everything we're doing and actually more. And at the same time, we're bringing down the number of troops substantially. But we're able to, because of the weaponry and all of the things that we have in place, we can do actually more damage with even fewer troops. So we're bringing it down very substantially, and we'll be down at a number that's a good number. And we're going to stay until such time as we have a deal or we have total victory. And they want to make a deal very badly. So we're dealing with, this is really for the media, I guess, more than anybody, because the president knows what I'm saying. The Taliban wants to make a deal, and we're meeting with them, and we're saying it has to be a ceasefire. They didn't want to do a ceasefire, but now they do want to do a ceasefire, I believe. It'll probably work out that way, and we'll see what happens. But we've made tremendous progress. But the thing I'm most proud of, because you could look at Taliban and say they're fighting for their land, you could look at others and say they're fighting for other things. But we know what ISIS is fighting for, and we know what Al-Qaeda is fighting for, and we have them down to a very small number of people. So, and that will not be a long-lasting fight. That'll be over with very soon. So we've made a lot of progress, and at the same time, we're drawing down our troops. And by the way, the same thing in Syria, I have to tell you. There was false reporting in the New York Times and some of the others yesterday. As you know, we did withdraw from Syria, except we kept the oil. And we're doing a little scattered fighting because we had some areas where ISIS was a little prevalent and gaining some traction. And we sent some troops in and pretty much wiped it out. But we have left, for the most part, but we've kept the oil. And by keeping the oil, we don't have the enemy getting the oil, and the oil is what fueled the enemy. In this case, it was ISIS. And so in addition to what we did 2 weeks ago, which was pretty remarkable, what that group of young people was able to do very rapidly and very surgically, we are only in an area where we're keeping the oil and knocking out certain small groups of ISIS as it reforms. We don't want to, as it reforms, it gets back, it tries to get back. But we also knocked out, Mr. President, as you know, we knocked out the number 2 person who became the number 1 person. And now we have our sights on the number 3 person who's going to be the number 1 person if he wants it. It's not a good job. I don't think he wants it. Maybe he doesn't want it so badly. He's not acting too quickly. So we've had tremendous success, and we've had tremendous success here, especially over the last period of 6 months to a year. So it's very, very nice to be with you.
It's a pleasure.
Very, very nice. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, everybody.
You withdraw, there's no deal.
You withdraw, there's no deal.
restarted peace talks with the Taliban?
Say it?
Has the U.S. restarted peace talks?
No, we're
with the
talking to
Taliban?
the Taliban.
Right.
Are you prepared
And
to
will
withdraw
you
even
approve
without
the
a deal?
Afghan-
I would never say a thing like that. You
Will you-
wouldn't want me to say a thing like that, but I can just say this: we haven't had so much success in this country, in this area. We haven't had success like this probably from the beginning. Certainly as it relates to ISIS and Al Qaeda, which is a very primary aim. But we've had very good success in talks with the Taliban.
You said that you're, at this point, pulling out troops. How many troops are currently in Afghanistan, and what is the plan?
Well, we'll give you those numbers later, but we'll get down to a certain number. I'm not sure I want to give you that number, to be honest, but it's a very big difference. But because of new weaponry and technology, we're able to do actually more with fewer troops.
You had mentioned 8,600. Is that not the number anymore,
That's the number
sir?
that people are talking about, yes.
And is that the number you're talking about?
Yeah, it is, for now. And then we can do much further than that.
sir?
We can go much further than that, but we'll have it all covered. You know, there's a country where, for whatever reason, they reform, they regenerate, and we don't want that to happen. And we also have the support of a lot of other countries, by the way. We have a lot of help from a lot of other countries, but don't let anybody tell you that it's anybody else, because
What is
we're
the
leading
great-
it all the way.
what is
And
the greatest
frankly,
challenge-
that's one of the things. Look, we're in an area of the world, we're 8,000 miles away. Some of us, I guess most of us, came here together. We want other players in this area to help. They don't like ISIS either, they don't like Al Qaeda either, and they have to help also. You have countries that are right nearby, that are very big, that have power, and they should be doing some of the work too, not just the United States. Thank you very much.